I truly think a lot of lazy people can get away with being a good photographer because they can just edit their way to success. And it's like,
when you're shooting, are you always trying to think about how many different styles of photos you can get? Like, are you thinking to yourself, I want a double exposure, I want a close up, I want a wide? Because like I noticed you like doing that. You like getting kind of like an establishing shot, and then it seems like you like to get close up and maybe a detail. Do you have, I gotta hit my 3 things?
so I'll get an establishing one, and typically an establishing shot for me might be a 50. I'm just further back, but it's compressed so people feel like they're in that scene. Then I'll get a closer up one, some type of movement or detail, and then one really close. In my work, I love to shoot past a lot of things.
Right.
So it feels as if like my vision is going towards a different subject. People are like, I feel like I'm in that photo.
I've just noticed you really play with your comp. Like you'll even post like a shot that's just upside down.
I mean, like, who's to tell me I can't do that? It's like, it's just all art. And upside down, sometimes people are like, wow, what is happening? Then they're all of a sudden engaged. Upside down is just like, wait, what is that? Same thing with the bags. All of them stacked together, and it's like, it's trash. But to me, I'm like, this is art in a way, depending on the way you see it and the way it's punched in. That's like, this is interesting shapes and light. To me, it was like a testament of like, art is everywhere. It's like just how you perceive it. And I have the ability as an artist, as we all do, is like what I capture, I want people to see. So I capture it in a way that's pleasing people to see.
This is actually kind of a tricky shot because you want like the city behind to be in focus, which is an entirely different exposure than under the bridge. Good luck with that.
Do you ever recompose another shot? Like, do you take 2 photos of the same thing?
100%. Like if I'm not entirely sure, or if I just want to see like, oh, am I 2 stops overexposed? Am I 1 stop overexposed?
Yeah, I'm the same. It is nice though, like when I was taking Daniel's portrait, all right, I took one of them here, and I'm like, let's go over here, and let's try this, and let's try that. So it's not just like 100 photos of the same thing. I'm like, great, I just wasted a whole roll, and like, I like the first one.
But that's what makes this kind of fun. Like you would typically be used to just like blasting off 75 shots of that portrait in one section.
Yeah.
This, you'll come back home with, 10 pictures of Daniel, but there'll be 10 different pictures of Daniel. 100%. And I always find that you end up with a higher yield when you're shooting film because of that exact reason.
I really don't like having this like new age big digital chunk and carry that heavy Mamiya. It's like, it just feels very different.
Like does one style pull you out of the other style? And it's hard to just like turn on different switches?
I need to be one or the other. I know I'll have more flexibility in post if I wanted to deliver something to someone, but the process of the Mamiya is way more fun to me because I'm just very slowed down. It's more like this like kind of poetic way of just like painting this image.
What made you want to even start?
I always thought that if I lived in a city, I would get in a medium format. Not just film in general, but I was like, when I'm in a city, I just feel inspired. That's like, oh, that's rustic here. There's like stories here. There's something about that here. When I got here, I just didn't know anything about it, did all my research as much as possible. And all the things about like, it's pretty heavy. I don't know that I'd take that around. Like, it's not the best mobile setup. It was just like, I hear all that, but I still want to be in it. And I still want to figure out what that looks like and why.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Now, some new stuff, some new tidbits, little sprinkling of new offerings to update you with. Yes, it's exciting. Been a while, but not really. Now you can start a completely new personalized website using Squarespace Blueprint. Ooh. That's a new guided design system. They took what was already super easy, made it even better. So now you can choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build an online presence from the ground up. And what that's doing is tailoring it to your brand, your business, and what you have to offer. And the best part is it's optimized to every device. So if someone's browsing your site on an iPad, on a phone, on a huge screen, on a small screen, it's going to look good no matter where they're looking at it, which was always just such a pain if you had to deal with web design back, and it was just such a nightmare. But no longer is it a nightmare. We've got new integrated SEO tools, so when you launch your site, you can get discovered faster. That's great if you are selling products, or if you have a business, or you want to host your podcast, or get traffic to your site to discover you. That way you're showing up to more people more often and growing the way that you want to grow. One of the new things I love is the flexible payments. So if you want to accept credit cards or Apple Pay or PayPal, and in some eligible countries, you can have buy now, pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. So all of these things to show that like Squarespace are constantly updating their system, updating their platform to make the best possible experience available to you, and in doing that, your clients. And at the very minimum, you should have a website anyway with your email and contact information, just because it's 2024 and it's the internet. So thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Absolutely check them out below, especially if you are starting a business or you're an entrepreneur yourself or want to be, because it is a great starting point. It's a great ending point. It's everything in between. So thanks again for sponsoring this video. Hit that link in the description to save 10% off your first purchase using code McKinnon at checkout. Squarespace have sponsored this channel for a long time, and I very much appreciate them and appreciate their product. Chef's kiss.
I think this shot will be
Pretty
cool.
sick, yeah.
Yeah. Like the red of the stairs pumps me up. So when you're coming at this already, do you have an idea in mind?
Like, right here is already kind of cool shooting
Want
past
me to
it.
ask him to pull it up a bit?
Yeah, just a tiny bit. At least from here, if you look here, but then wide is very different. Nice. It's kind of a vibe up here. It's a little too high over here, it's tough.
You don't like it when it just feels too obvious?
This one's like on a footpath.
Yeah.
But if this was like all asphalt, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe just park there and come up the stairs. But from here, the curb to like street
It's
is
just too
a little bit tough. Hey Daniel, could you put it back on the street and just back it up to where you're near that one-way sign? So now it seems like way more intentional.
Yeah. So we were talking about how, do you ever shoot the same thing? Like obviously we're doing this Land Rover here.
Yeah.
I've probably already shot 15 shots of it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna post? Probably just one.
Yeah.
But like you said, I should be getting some detail shots.
Kurt, I might even have you kind of be walking down this way, and then Pete, you coming up. Go for it. All right, sweet. Film is teaching me that of like, you can't just be lazy. It'll look it.
Yeah.
It'll look it.
You gotta work
can't-
extra hard for
Yeah.
your craft.
If it sucks, it sucks.
Does that make you a better photographer with your digital camera? The slowing down with film?
So I feel like we get back in that lazy mindset of just like
switch.
and all this
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm just like doing all this. Whereas like on that one, I'm like very intentional with like, okay, I can't mess that up. Let me double check before I do this. I truly think a lot of lazy people can get away with being a good photographer because they can just edit their way to success, and it's like that's a dangerous path.
That's a really good statement.
You couldn't do that with film. I'm like, you can't just make a bad decision and be like, oh, I'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Fix it in post drives me nuts. That statement is so played out. It drives me nuts when people say that, because I'm like, dude, I don't work that way. The way I compose digitally, the way I want to edit digitally, I shoot for that purpose. And then watching you being able to just like speed ramp everything and shoot film, I'm like, wow, that's very veteran-esque of like where I want to be. I'm like, I'm so slow on my film camera, but I'm also being very intentional with like, I want to
I
get a
feel like
shot.
I'm still slow on my film camera.
I see you wheeling and doing like this, and I'm like, God, man, I'm just like double checking everything. And I'm just like, is this in focus? Like, I don't want to hit the trigger early. And Kurt was near me. I was getting ready, and I was about to start focusing, and I accidentally tapped it. Boom, there was a shot. Can't believe I soft tapped that. Shoot. That's the first time I've done that, so it's not bad. Okay, that hasn't happened yet.
It hurts too, eh?
Yeah, I was just like, damn it. Okay.
It's funny how one frame, like that would bother me.
It bothered me. I was just like, gosh, damn. I was like, that wasn't even close to being focused. That's not even going to be artistic.
Yeah,
it's not even a good
pass,
frame. That just one sucks. So
I lost.
typography is going to have to go on that one, I guess. I don't know. So I just, that one was tough. Which
Do you do that? Do you take like photos that are mistakes and use them as like a means for like a logo of your business?
Yeah, it's like a
or-
gap between work. It's like, cool, I'll also use that mistake for me to like bridge the gap between different shots of the narrative.
That's
So it's
cool.
like, oh, here's a logo, or I might just make a story out of it. People are like,
Yeah.
oh, it's cool. Because then people, again, only perceive it as whatever you portray it
Yeah.
as. It's like digitally, if you make a mistake, it means nothing.
Yeah.
So I just was
do
like,
it
that was a
again.
bad shot. That one hurt, because I was just like, how did I hit that already? Like, why did I hit the shutter already? I wasn't even close.
Probably won't do it again though.
No. Damn it.
Well,
I
is
just
it
took a photo. All right, I'm not going to crank it. Bad luck today on that. Just donating shots at this point. So anyway, but I think moving forward, man, I would love to have at least half film and understand how that works. And I think the more you get into it, the more it's going to be
Yeah.
way more than 50%.
Takes over pretty fast.
Because it just, looking at this, I feel like a complete dork now. It's just like digital, and that's not like this like trendy, like film is back. It's just, I just feel like a dork because, I don't know, I'm just like, everybody has the same setup and not everybody's gonna have the other setup. Not everybody's gonna choose a hard path. So for me, I'm like, I don't know, it's a little bit more rewarding. And like showing Chelsea my work, she's like, your stuff's starting to get very good. And it's super cool to see the progression. And like in my head, I'm like, I still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like really hyped on some of the stuff I've got. It's like, damn,